Imagine this: you're facing a situation that's completely out of your control, pressure mounting, emotions running high, and everything around you feels like it's about to crumble. Now, ask yourself this: how would you react? Would you be overwhelmed by the chaos? Would you let your emotions take over, or would you remain calm, composed, and in control? In today's fast-paced world, staying calm in the face of adversity has become one of the most valuable skills you can possess. But here's the thing: it's not something you're just born with. It's something you can train, something you can master. And when you learn to stay calm, not only do you gain clarity in the toughest of situations, but you also unlock a level of personal power that makes you unstoppable. In this speech, I'm going to show you how to train your mind to stay calm, no matter what life throws your way. Whether it's emotional control, mindfulness, or building resilience, we'll dive into practical tools and techniques that will change the way you approach challenges. You don't need to be perfect, but with consistent effort, you can become someone who stays grounded no matter how stormy the world around you may be. Let's get started. Emotional mastery over reactions is the foundation of maintaining a calm mind in any situation. It's easy to get caught in the intensity of emotions when things go wrong, especially when life throws unexpected challenges our way. But true strength lies not in the avoidance of emotions, but in the ability to control how we respond to them. Emotional mastery is about recognizing that while you can't always control what happens to you, you do have control over how you let it affect you. When something triggers a strong emotional response, be it anger, frustration, sadness, or anxiety, the first step is to acknowledge the emotion without judgment. Many people fall into the trap of either suppressing their feelings or allowing them to take over completely. Both of these responses can be harmful. Suppressing emotions can lead to them building up over time, causing stress and anxiety. On the other hand, letting emotions take full control can lead to rash decisions and impulsive actions that we often regret later. The key to emotional mastery is awareness. The moment you recognize the emotion you are feeling, you've already taken the first step toward control. It's about taking a moment to pause, to reflect on what's happening inside you, and to ask yourself why you feel the way you do. This pause creates a space between the trigger and your reaction, giving you a chance to choose your response rather than reacting automatically. This space allows you to acknowledge the emotion, process it, and then decide how you want to respond. A strong response, however, doesn't mean ignoring or denying your feelings. It means not allowing them to dictate your actions. When you're able to control your emotional reactions, you can make decisions that are rooted in logic and mindfulness instead of fear, anger, or stress. This is particularly important in high-stakes situations where emotions can cloud judgment and lead to decisions that might make the situation worse. Another aspect of emotional mastery is understanding that emotions are temporary. When we feel strong emotions, especially negative ones, it can seem like they will last forever, but emotions are fleeting. They come in waves, and just as they rise, they eventually fade away. Recognizing that emotions are not permanent can help you detach from the intensity of the feeling. You learn not to invest too much energy in them because you understand they are transient. It's also important to recognize that not every emotional reaction is necessary. In some situations, we overreact to things that don't truly deserve our emotional energy. By learning to discern which emotions are worth your attention and which are simply distractions, you can focus on what really matters. This discernment comes with practice and self-reflection. Over time, you begin to distinguish between emotional responses that are aligned with your values and those that are simply a reaction to stress or external pressures. One way to cultivate emotional mastery is through regular mindfulness practices. Meditation, for instance, helps train the mind to be aware of its thoughts and emotions without getting attached to them. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you learn to sit with discomfort and let it pass without acting on it. Mindfulness helps you observe emotions without letting them control your actions. It teaches you that emotions, like thoughts, don't have to define you. Another powerful tool for emotional mastery is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when we react emotionally in a way we later regret. But self-compassion allows you to forgive yourself and move forward without holding on to shame or guilt. It's about understanding that emotional reactions are part of being human and it's okay to make mistakes. What matters is how you respond in the aftermath, whether you choose to learn from the experience and grow or let it define you negatively. Building emotional mastery is a lifelong process, and it requires consistent practice. It's about gradually shifting from automatic, knee-jerk reactions to a more conscious and deliberate approach to emotions. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to stay calm in challenging situations. Eventually, staying calm in the face of adversity doesn't feel like a forced effort. It becomes your natural state. This level of emotional mastery brings with it a sense of inner peace and control that cannot be easily shaken, no matter the external circumstances. Mindfulness is a powerful practice that allows individuals to remain grounded in the present moment, free from the distractions of the past or future. It's about cultivating the ability to observe your thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment, helping you navigate the complexity of daily life with a calm and clear mind. In high-stress situations, mindfulness can serve as an anchor, allowing you to stay centered and composed. It's a mental discipline that, when practiced regularly, can transform your ability to respond to life's challenges in a calm and thoughtful manner. At its core, mindfulness teaches you to pay attention to the present moment. This sounds simple, but for many people, the mind is constantly racing with thoughts about the past or future. We're often replaying past conversations or worrying about what might happen next, which creates a constant state of mental noise. This cluttered mental state can lead to stress, anxiety, and a lack of clarity when making decisions. Mindfulness, however, trains the mind to focus on what is happening right now without the added weight of past regrets or future concerns. By focusing on the present moment, mindfulness helps you develop a heightened awareness of your thoughts and emotions. It allows you to notice when a thought or emotion arises without immediately reacting to it. This awareness creates a gap between the stimulus and your response, which is crucial for maintaining calmness in difficult situations. Instead of being swept away by your emotions or mental chatter, you can simply observe them as they come and go. You don't have to attach any significance to them, nor do you need to act on them. You simply let them pass, which diminishes their power over you. One of the fundamental aspects of mindfulness is the practice of non-judgmental awareness. This means you observe your thoughts and feelings without labeling them as good or bad. In our everyday lives, we often judge our emotions or reactions as right or wrong. When you're angry, you might tell yourself, "I shouldn't feel this way." When you're anxious, you might judge yourself for not being able to handle a situation. These judgments only increase your emotional distress. Mindfulness, however, encourages you to accept your feelings without judgment. You don't criticize yourself for feeling a certain way. You simply acknowledge it and move forward. This acceptance of your inner experiences allows you to release the emotional charge they carry, helping you remain calm. The practice of mindfulness also involves focusing on your breath. Breathing is a fundamental aspect of staying calm, especially when emotions are running high. When we're stressed or anxious, our breathing tends to become shallow and rapid. This triggers the body's fight or flight response, increasing the intensity of our emotions. However, by consciously slowing down your breath and taking deep, steady inhales and exhales, you can signal to your body that it's safe to relax. Deep breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for calming the body and mind. This simple practice can help you regain control of your emotions in moments of stress. In addition to breath work, mindfulness involves paying attention to your physical sensations. When we're overwhelmed, it's easy to ignore what's happening in our bodies. We may not realize that our shoulders are tense or that our heart rate is elevated. By tuning into your body, you can identify signs of stress or anxiety before they escalate. This awareness allows you to take proactive steps to calm yourself, such as stretching, relaxing your muscles, or simply pausing for a moment of stillness. Physical awareness is a key component of mindfulness that helps you stay in control of your emotional state. Practicing mindfulness doesn't require a special environment or a significant time commitment. It can be incorporated into everyday activities. Whether you're eating, walking, or sitting in traffic, you can practice mindfulness by bringing your full attention to the present moment. For example, while eating, you can focus on the taste, texture, and smell of your food rather than getting lost in thoughts about your day. Similarly, while walking, you can notice the sensation of your feet touching the ground and the movement of your body rather than thinking about past events or future concerns. These small moments of mindfulness throughout the day help train your mind to remain present and calm regardless of external circumstances. As you continue to practice mindfulness, you'll find that it becomes easier to apply in challenging situations. In moments of stress, you'll be able to pause, take a deep breath, and observe your thoughts and feelings without getting overwhelmed by them. This gives you the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Over time, mindfulness builds resilience by allowing you to handle difficult emotions with greater ease and composure. The more you practice mindfulness, the more you strengthen your ability to stay calm, clear-headed, and focused in any situation. Mindfulness is not a quick fix, but rather a lifelong practice that transforms how you relate to your thoughts, emotions, and the world around you. With consistent effort, mindfulness cultivates a sense of inner peace and balance, helping you navigate life's challenges with greater ease and emotional stability. Whether you're facing a tough conversation, a stressful deadline, or a personal setback, mindfulness will help you approach it with a calm, open, and non-reactive mindset. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adversity, or difficult circumstances. It is the inner strength that allows a person to remain steadfast and composed in the face of challenges, keeping their mind focused on solutions rather than dwelling on problems. Building resilience is essential for maintaining calmness, especially when life throws curveballs that could easily shake our emotional and mental stability. The more resilient we become, the more adept we are at staying grounded and level-headed in any situation. To build resilience, it is crucial to understand that setbacks and failures are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth. Life is full of challenges, whether personal, professional, or emotional. The key is not to avoid these challenges, but to approach them with the mindset that they are temporary and surmountable. Instead of seeing a setback as a permanent roadblock, resilient individuals view it as a stepping stone toward progress. This shift in mindset is vital because it allows you to remain calm in situations where others may panic or lose hope. By reframing challenges as opportunities for growth, you maintain a sense of control and perspective, which is essential for staying calm. One of the cornerstones of resilience is the ability to embrace change. Change is inevitable, and it often brings uncertainty, which can trigger stress and anxiety. However, resilient individuals learn to accept that change is part of life, and instead of fearing it, they adapt to it. They approach the unknown with a sense of curiosity rather than apprehension. This adaptability helps to maintain inner peace because it removes the need to control every aspect of life. Instead, resilient individuals focus on what they can control, their responses, attitudes, and actions, while letting go of the need to control external circumstances. This mindset fosters a calm and composed demeanor even in the most challenging times. Another aspect of building resilience is having a support network. No one can face adversity alone, and having people who can offer emotional support, guidance, and encouragement is crucial. Resilient individuals understand the importance of community and seek out relationships that are uplifting and positive. These connections provide a sense of belonging and security, which helps mitigate the impact of stress and uncertainty. When you have a strong support network, you can lean on others for perspective and reassurance, which allows you to maintain your calm when faced with challenges. In addition to external support, resilience also involves internal sources of strength such as self-awareness and self-compassion. By developing a deep understanding of yourself and your limits, you can better manage your emotions and stay grounded during difficult times. Building resilience also requires learning how to manage stress effectively. Stress is a natural response to challenges, but when it becomes chronic, it can overwhelm the mind and body, making it difficult to stay calm. Resilient individuals practice stress management techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and exercise. These techniques help to activate the body's relaxation response, which counteracts the physical effects of stress. Regular exercise, for example, not only improves physical health, but also releases endorphins, which are chemicals in the brain that promote feelings of well-being. By incorporating stress management practices into daily life, resilient individuals are better equipped to handle pressure and maintain composure no matter the circumstances. Resilience is also about perseverance. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and it's easy to become discouraged when things don't unfold the way you expect. Resilient individuals, however, are persistent. They keep moving forward, even when progress seems slow or obstacles seem insurmountable. This perseverance comes from a deep belief that their efforts will eventually pay off. They understand that success often requires sustained effort, and they are willing to put in the work even when it's hard. This determination allows them to stay calm and focused on their goals without becoming overwhelmed by the temporary difficulties they encounter along the way. In addition to perseverance, resilient people practice gratitude. It's easy to get caught up in what's going wrong, but focusing on the positive aspects of life can help shift your perspective and reduce feelings of anxiety. By regularly reflecting on what you're grateful for, you can foster a sense of contentment and peace even when things aren't perfect. Gratitude helps to reframe negative experiences and reduces the tendency to catastrophize. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you naturally cultivate resilience because you're able to find meaning and purpose in every situation, no matter how difficult. Ultimately, resilience is built over time. It's not something that can be acquired overnight. Each experience of adversity, when faced with the right mindset, strengthens your ability to cope and grow. Over time, as you continue to encounter challenges and learn from them, your resilience grows, making it easier to stay calm and composed in future situations. Resilience becomes an internal resource that you can tap into whenever you need it, providing a solid foundation for facing any adversity with grace and strength. By consistently practicing resilience, you train your mind to stay calm, regardless of what life throws your way. Detachment from external chaos is a critical component in maintaining mental calm in any situation. Life is inherently unpredictable, and the world around us can often feel chaotic, filled with noise, distractions, and uncertainties. These external forces can easily influence our emotional state, leading to stress, anxiety, and a lack of control. However, detaching yourself from this chaos allows you to maintain your peace and stay focused. No matter what is happening outside of you, it's about recognizing that while you can't control external circumstances, you have full control over your internal world, and this internal control is what keeps you grounded. When we attach too strongly to external events or situations, we give them power over our emotions. We may become emotionally invested in the outcomes of things beyond our control, such as the behavior of others, economic fluctuations, or even global events. This attachment leads to frustration, helplessness, and a sense of vulnerability. We start to feel like we're at the mercy of external forces, and our emotional well-being becomes dependent on factors that are out of our hands. Detachment, on the other hand, allows us to release this emotional dependence. It doesn't mean you become indifferent or disengaged from the world. Rather, it's about not letting external circumstances dictate how you feel or how you respond. The key to detachment is understanding the impermanence of all things. Everything in life is temporary. Both the good and the bad. Situations change, people change, and emotions shift. When you detach from the need to control or hold on to any one thing, you embrace the fluidity of life. This mindset allows you to ride the waves of life without getting swept away by them. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by challenges or setbacks, you accept them as part of the natural ebb and flow of life. You realize that no matter how difficult things may seem in the moment, they will pass, and you can navigate through them with calm and clarity. A powerful aspect of detachment is recognizing that you can't control the actions of others. Often we become emotionally invested in how others behave, whether it's how they treat us, how they perform at work, or how they interact with the world. When others' actions don't align with our expectations or desires, it can cause frustration, disappointment, or anger. However, detaching from these expectations frees us from emotional turmoil. We understand that we can only control ourselves and our reactions, not the behavior of others. This realization gives us the mental space to accept people for who they are without trying to change them. By accepting others as they are, we free ourselves from the stress of trying to influence or control their behavior, and this detachment allows us to stay calm in our interactions with them. Another important aspect of detachment is letting go of the need for approval or validation from others. Many people seek external validation to feel good about themselves. Whether it's approval from a boss, praise from friends, or recognition from society, the desire for external validation can lead to stress and anxiety. When we depend on others to define our worth, we lose touch with our own inner sense of value. Detaching from the need for external validation allows you to cultivate self-worth that is not dependent on others' opinions. You start to trust your own judgment and believe in your own value, regardless of how others perceive you. This inner confidence helps you remain calm because your sense of self is no longer threatened by external factors. Letting go of the need to control outcomes is another form of detachment that brings mental peace. Often, we place a lot of emotional energy into trying to shape outcomes according to our desires. We want things to go a certain way, and when they don't, it can lead to disappointment and frustration. Detaching from the need for specific outcomes allows us to approach situations with more flexibility and openness. We may still have goals and aspirations, but we understand that the path to achieving them may not always be linear. By letting go of rigid expectations, we open ourselves to alternative possibilities and solutions, reducing the stress that comes from trying to control every detail. Detachment also involves releasing past hurts and grievances. Holding on to past experiences, whether it's a past failure, betrayal, or injustice, can create emotional baggage that weighs us down. These past events can shape our present emotions and cloud our judgment. Detaching from the past doesn't mean forgetting or denying what happened. It means accepting and learning from it and then releasing it. By letting go of past emotional wounds, we free ourselves from their hold on our current mental state. This detachment enables us to approach the present with a clearer, more open mind, unburdened by the weight of past experiences. Ultimately, detachment is not about disengaging from life, but about developing the ability to remain emotionally unaffected by things that are beyond our control. It's about creating an inner fortress of calm that is impervious to the chaos of the world. By practicing detachment, you build resilience, self-confidence, and emotional stability. You learn to embrace the flow of life without clinging to it, knowing that whatever comes your way, you can remain steady, calm, and composed. This level of detachment is not something that happens overnight, but is cultivated through mindfulness, self-reflection, and consistent practice. When you learn to detach from the external chaos, you create the mental clarity and peace needed to thrive, regardless of the circumstances. Breathwork is one of the simplest yet most effective tools for regaining calmness and clarity in any situation. The act of breathing is something we often take for granted, but it is deeply connected to our mental and emotional state. In moments of stress, anxiety, or overwhelm, the way we breathe often becomes shallow and rapid, which in turn exacerbates feelings of tension and fear. However, by consciously focusing on and controlling our breath, we can activate the body's natural relaxation response, reduce stress, and bring ourselves back to a state of calm. The power of breathwork lies in its ability to influence the autonomic nervous system, which regulates the body's stress response. When we are stressed or anxious, our body enters the fight or flight mode, where our heart rate increases, our muscles tense, and our breath becomes faster and more shallow. This physiological response prepares us to face danger, but it can also overwhelm the mind and body in situations where there is no immediate threat. Breathwork allows us to reverse this response by slowing down the breath, which signals to the body that it is safe to relax. This process activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for calming the body and mind. By focusing on slow, deep, and steady breaths, we can interrupt the cycle of stress and anxiety that often arises in difficult situations. Deep breathing encourages the diaphragm to expand fully, which in turn allows for greater oxygen intake and helps to slow down the heart rate. This deep rhythmic breathing engages the body's natural relaxation mechanisms, helping to reduce the physical symptoms of stress, such as tension in the shoulders, tightness in the chest, and rapid heartbeat. As the breath becomes slower and more deliberate, the mind also begins to quiet, allowing for greater mental clarity and emotional stability. In addition to calming the body, breathwork has the ability to center the mind. When we are caught up in stress or negative emotions, our thoughts can become scattered and overwhelming. We may start to ruminate on worst-case scenarios or get lost and worry about the future. Breathwork helps us bring our attention back to the present moment, shifting our focus from the chaotic swirl of thoughts to the simple act of breathing. This mindfulness of breath serves as an anchor, pulling us away from our anxieties and grounding us in the here and now. By focusing on the breath, we create space between ourselves and our thoughts, allowing us to observe them without becoming consumed by them. In moments of emotional intensity, breath work can also help to regulate our reactions. When we are angry, frustrated, or upset, it's easy to act impulsively or speak without thinking. Breath work provides an opportunity to pause, take a step back, and center ourselves before responding. When we take a deep breath in those moments, we give ourselves the time to process our emotions and choose a more measured and thoughtful response. Rather than reacting in a knee-jerk manner, we become more mindful of our actions and words, which helps to maintain our composure in difficult situations. Breathwork can also be used as a preventative tool, helping to maintain calm and clarity before stressful situations arise. By incorporating regular breathing exercises into your daily routine, you can strengthen your ability to stay calm under pressure. Practices like diaphragmatic breathing, box breathing, and alternating nostril breathing can be done at any time, helping to regulate the nervous system and build resilience to stress. When practiced consistently, these techniques create a sense of inner balance that makes it easier to handle challenges when they do arise. One of the key benefits of breathwork is that it is always available to us. Unlike other methods of stress relief that may require external tools or resources, breathwork is something we carry with us wherever we go. Whether you're sitting in a meeting, driving in traffic, or facing a difficult conversation, you can always take a moment to focus on your breath. This accessibility makes breathwork an invaluable tool for managing stress in real time. It's a simple, effective, and portable method for maintaining emotional and mental balance in any situation. Moreover, breathwork is deeply connected to our emotional health. Many emotions, especially negative ones, are stored in the body and can be released through breath. For example, when we hold our breath or breathe shallowly in response to stress, we unknowingly suppress our emotions. By consciously deepening the breath, we allow ourselves to release these pent-up emotions and create space for emotional healing. Breathwork creates a safe space for us to process difficult feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. In this way, breath becomes not just a tool for calming the body, but also a means of emotional release and renewal. Breathing exercises can also enhance our overall well-being by improving focus, clarity, and mental performance. When the body is relaxed and the mind is calm, we are better able to concentrate, make decisions, and think creatively. Breathwork encourages a sense of mental sharpness that enhances cognitive function, making it easier to navigate complex tasks or difficult situations with greater ease. By regularly practicing breathwork, we are not only reducing stress, but also improving our mental capacity to handle whatever challenges come our way. Incorporating breathwork into your daily routine, especially during stressful moments, can profoundly affect your ability to stay calm and centered. The more you practice it, the more natural it becomes, and the more adept you'll be at regaining your sense of inner peace, even in the most turbulent circumstances. Breathwork is an accessible, powerful tool for anyone looking to cultivate emotional and mental resilience, enabling you to face life's challenges with composure, clarity, and calm. Consistency in practice is the cornerstone of building a calm and resilient mind. It's easy to adopt a new technique or approach when you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, but true mastery comes with regular, intentional practice over time. The human mind is not a switch that can be flipped instantly. It requires gradual conditioning and repetition to make lasting changes. Whether it's mindfulness, breath work, or emotional regulation techniques, consistency helps to wire the brain for calmness, making it easier to stay composed in any situation. The more consistently you practice these techniques, the more automatic they become, allowing you to maintain a peaceful mindset even when challenges arise. When you practice something consistently, you create new neural pathways in the brain. These pathways strengthen over time, and the more you engage in a specific practice, the easier it becomes to use that skill in moments of need. This principle is rooted in neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new connections. Just as muscles strengthen through regular exercise, your mind becomes more adept at managing stress and staying calm through consistent practice. Initially, it may feel difficult or unnatural, but over time, these practices become ingrained in your daily life, making it easier to respond with calmness when life's inevitable challenges present themselves. Consistency also builds resilience. By regularly facing difficult emotions or stressful situations and practicing techniques to maintain calm, you strengthen your mental and emotional endurance. It's similar to physical training. The more you push your body to endure physical challenges, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. In the same way, the more you expose yourself to stress and apply calming practices, the more resilient your mind becomes. Each time you successfully navigate a challenging situation with a calm and composed mindset, you reinforce your ability to handle future difficulties with even more ease. This process of repeated exposure and consistent practice builds a mental reservoir of strength, allowing you to face adversity with a sense of inner peace. Another benefit of consistency in practice is the development of self-discipline. In a world where distractions are constant and stress is often unavoidable, practicing techniques to stay calm requires dedication and focus. Self-discipline is not just about willpower, it's about developing the ability to commit to a practice even when it's not easy. This commitment cultivates patience and perseverance, qualities that are essential for maintaining calmness. In moments of stress, having the self-discipline to pause, breathe, and center yourself becomes second nature. Consistency teaches you to stay grounded even in the most chaotic or unpredictable circumstances because you've made a habit of returning to your center every day. When you make these practices part of your daily routine, you are also reinforcing positive habits that contribute to your overall well-being. This could involve setting aside time for mindfulness meditation, practicing deep breathing exercises, or simply taking moments throughout the day to check in with yourself and ground your emotions. These small, consistent practices accumulate over time, helping to reduce overall stress levels and improve your emotional regulation. When you approach life with a sense of calmness cultivated through consistent practice, you are less likely to react impulsively or be overwhelmed by life's challenges. Instead, you approach situations with clarity, focus, and a grounded sense of inner peace. Consistency also helps to create a sense of structure and routine. The mind craves stability, and having a consistent practice for managing stress creates a reliable foundation that you can return to whenever needed. When you develop a routine of practicing calmness, it provides you with a sense of control over your environment and your emotional state. This structure is particularly valuable in high-stress situations, as it gives you something to fall back on when things start to feel chaotic. It becomes your anchor in the storm, a tool you can rely on to maintain peace regardless of what's happening around you. Over time, the consistent practice of calming techniques also enhances your emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence involves being aware of understanding and managing your emotions effectively. When you consistently practice mindfulness, breathwork, or other techniques that promote emotional regulation, you become more attuned to your emotional state. You learn to identify the triggers that cause stress or anxiety and respond to them with greater awareness and control. This increased emotional awareness helps you navigate social and professional interactions more effectively, as you are less likely to react impulsively or let your emotions get the best of you. Consistency, however, requires patience. In the fast-paced world we live in, we often want quick results, but real change takes time. It's easy to become frustrated when we don't see immediate progress, but consistency teaches us that growth is gradual. It's about trusting the process and understanding that even small incremental improvements add up over time. The more you practice, the more you cultivate the ability to stay calm, and with enough time, this calmness becomes a natural part of who you are. The power of consistency lies in its cumulative effect. It's not about a single act of mindfulness or one moment of deep breathing, but rather the daily commitment to these practices that builds lasting calmness and resilience. When practiced consistently, these tools become part of your mental and emotional toolkit, ready to be used whenever life presents challenges. By embedding these practices into your daily routine, you create a foundation of inner peace that remains unshaken, regardless of the chaos around you. In this way, consistency in practice is not just a habit, it's a lifestyle that cultivates a sense of control, clarity, and calmness in any situation. In conclusion, training your mind to stay calm in any situation is not just about finding temporary relief from stress, but about developing a long-term, resilient mindset that allows you to navigate life's challenges with clarity and composure. By mastering your emotions, practicing mindfulness, building resilience, detaching from external chaos, using breath work, and committing to consistent practice, you equip yourself with the tools to maintain inner peace no matter what life throws your way. It is through this consistent effort that you create a strong foundation of mental and emotional strength that allows you to respond thoughtfully and calmly rather than reacting impulsively. Remember, the journey to mastering calmness is not a quick fix, but a continuous practice of self-awareness, growth, and resilience. Keep honing these practices every day, and soon staying calm in difficult situations will become second nature. You have the power to shape your mind and your responses, and with dedication, you will cultivate the peace and stability you seek. Good luck on your journey toward mastering calmness, and thank you for your time and attention today. May you always find the strength to stay composed no matter the storm around you. Stay grounded, stay focused, and always remember that true peace begins from within.